It's an hard watch.
Try harder, Ivan. Do not go down there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You guys might know of this little YouTuber named Critical Drinker, but is he the hypocritical drinker?
Oh,
That's a good
fucking
line.
sat on that one.
Basically, he made a movie. Well, okay, some people made a movie that they optioned his book, and that movie has become a YouTube proof of concept for a TV show.
But he produced it.
Yeah.
He wrote it. He was on set. He cameoed in it. It's based on his work.
He was pretty heavily involved.
Did he write all like 10 of those books?
Yeah, they're all
Damn.
And self-published.
Cranking them out.
I haven't read them, but
That's your next job. I'm making you read those.
they sound like the stereotypical self-published thing.
I've got a lot of YouTuber books I need you to read.
This felt like, remember when Machinima would do like Street Fighter TV shows?
I was going to say Freddie W.
In that same vein, but Machinima used to do these crazy, like the Street Fighter TV show that they did. It was like 8 episodes, or Mortal Kombat TV show.
I remember the Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
one.
yeah. This was what that felt like, but this somehow felt cheaper.
Well, it reminded me of the Nathan Fillion Uncharted short film,
Yes.
except that was, 15 minutes and done in someone's house. Probably was a lot cheaper.
It also knew what it was. They knew they were doing an action scene with Nathan Fillion talking
They were doing
some
the
shit.
experience movie where,
It's like, this is what you could... That's a proof of concept.
I know, if you're going to call this a proof of concept now because you haven't got many views and you're a bit worried about being criticised by lesser channels.
No matter how you try to spin it, the movie has been an unmitigated disaster, and now that it's impossible to lie their way out of that fact, the focus is shifted instead on finding a politically acceptable explanation that allows the drinker to save face.
So you go, oh, it's a proof of concept, so therefore it's okay that it's not the best. But a proof of concept would be a 15-minute sequence which has you go, oh, this is kind of what the character and the experience is. Ryan Drake is this Jack Reacher, a Tom Clancy type character, and he's going to kill people and look awesome doing it.
It should be generic episode of Reacher. That's what they should have just done.
This to me felt like it was fucking season 3 of something.
Where it's like getting really dry. If they were going to do a proof of concept, why choose this out of all 10 books?
Is it based on like
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether they just took a section of his book or whether they've written this from scratch based on his characters.
I'd love to know what, because I'm on his Kickstarter right now.
Right.
There's a lot on here. Like, it's all just a lot of
You said the stretch goals.
faff. On Kickstarter, you have to like, go very big to make it look very like official.
Yeah.
And it does look like he's done like everything, like proof of concepts, and like these are my things that could go wrong. This is like what I plan to do over like each month. I want to get this done.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
But it also doesn't feel like it blew out of proportion because a lot of the film is nothingness. Like, it's been padded out with flashbacks, and then they've also added just like a lot of walking sequences. It's not just like one big thing. It's not like, oh, this is this action fight from this episode or this portion of this episode. Basically, it starts with the worst thing it could possibly start with instead of getting us into the action, we have to sit and watch 3 movie logos.
43 seconds of logos.
And then when it actually starts, we have to watch them come back up again like in real movies.
And then the equivalent of like one of my year 12 students, like a PowerPoint screenshot of they're called shepherds.
The text.
It doesn't help you though.
Isn't there one like that in Top Gun as well, right? And then obviously for me, because obviously I froth over Blade Runner, it just made me think of Blade Runner.
But no, Blade Runner is necessary because it sets the scene. Because I don't know what the fuck's going on in Blade Runner by just looking at it. Whereas this, it's set in modern day with modern day politics going on as far as like, oh, Russia and Ukraine are going at it and Russia's the bad guy. And then I get told about these people called shepherds that are off the books and that no one knows about. And then the first scene we see has no shepherds involved.
Isn't the blonde chick a shepherd?
No, that was Anya. That was Vanya. Vanya Voljic. Anya? Every other name starts with a V.
That's all I thought she was.
No, she was a Russian operative that Ryan Drake saved in the end that was a flashback.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure she was just a Russian asset. She was the femme fatale from
She's
the
a
other
rogue
side.
agent.
She's a rogue element?
Rogue element.
We are not introduced to shepherds. They don't come up at all.
Yeah, we aren't told who exactly is a shepherd. Are the group of the main 3, are they shepherds?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you introduce them like that, they're called shepherds. And then it's like, we must get to the car. I am special shepherd, man.
No, he's German. He turns German.
Drone strike would solve things pretty quickly.
Drone strike would solve things pretty quickly.
Stopped us before.
German?
He huffed and he puffed and he signed an eviction notice.
By the time we get over there, we're gonna lose nighttime cover.
We are shepherds, and you are my flock.
They were.
Why don't we have someone cleaning a gun? Another person, target practice, or throwing knives at something, you know?
It's just that they don't do anything interesting. Like, they're meant to be off the books Black Ops.
Super legit.
Yeah, who no one should know about. But then we immediately find, like, one of them immediately caves.
Where's the ghost equivalent?
He gets hit in the knee, and he's like, his name is Ryan Drake.
I don't think he's a shepherd. Surely not.
No, but he trained...
Yeah, I got the sense that he was meant to just be some, like... He came across as, like, the dodgy gun dealer they deal with, who might also stab them in the back if it suits him. That's what he felt like. I think he is a shepherd, but to me, the stereotype was he feels like a known associate who's a bit dodgy, but always hears something.
Yeah, just the giant scar. I don't know. They work for the CIA. We're told that in the intro. But the first person we hear speak is American. She's like a Californian chick. And then we hear a German guy that's like bitching and moaning at her.
Don't worry, whoever your latest victim is, I'm sure will be tied up in your dungeon.
And then in the least cool entrance ever, Ryan Drake rocks up and he's possibly English.
The character's meant to be English, but the actor you've said is Canadian.
I think he's Canadian.
Well, if he's English, he's over 40's accent.
You know how much I love making. It's an hard watch.
He didn't deserve to go out like that. And we don't allow shit like this to go unanswered.
This is your situation. I make you a deal.
Shut the fuck up.
It starts in like an action sequence. A deal's gone wrong. We have a very generic, you got to get me out of this. You're doing a good thing. You wouldn't be saying that if it was your ass on the line. I'm like, okay, temp dialogue that made it into the film.
My family, you gotta save my family.
Yeah.
You forgot about the score that's going bum, 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 the whole time.
Oh wow, that first
Some
5
sad
minutes.
Hans Zimmer type stuff. So we have a iffy action sequence in a fucking car park. Even though you go, wow, $300,000. It's not
quick.
much.
What hurts it is you don't start as anything impressive. You start in a car park that that Corridor Digital does on a weekly basis.
That's what I'm saying,
Like,
yeah.
it feels like 10 years ago YouTuber. It doesn't go up from there really. Like they go to a paintball or airsoft arena later on in the movie, which does make it feel a bit better because it means they have access to more locations. But just opening on a car park is so lackluster.
Particularly when these are meant to be the elite of the elite. Like, they're behind enemy lines at all times.
We're gonna exfil you from this car park.
Oh yeah, we do get a shot that the establishment shot that's a vague skyline that says we're near the border, and then it's a car park.
So as you said, we're told about shepherds, then we don't see them.
Oh, actually, those two guys might have been shepherds as well.
Yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
Hastings or whatever.
Yeah, but they're also barely in. I don't even know who they are.
And why does he want Ryan Drake? Like, why does he want the name? Because he's the leader of this.
He says something about someone did bad things in my country, and he went by the name of Merciless or something. Who is this guy? And they're like, Ryan Drake. So we go from super generic Corridor Digital Freddie W. Car park fight scene, which is just a couple of shots go off. And then we cut from that to a torture scene, which I've shot a torture scene. Like, I did that short film because all I needed was a small warehouse that my university had.
Yes.
And I'm like, cool.
Oh, God, I just noticed their fucking American flag.
Oh, you didn't see that? Yeah, in the
That was a
background.
cheap shot, and I just rewatched it.
It's a cheap shot, mate.
He just hit him with a left hook.
What, the punch was a cheap shot? Or the shot itself is a cheap
That was a cheap shot. Look, when they made the Kickstarter, they said, we're going to do this for $20,000, 20 grand.
They
That
made
was
it
the
look like
Kickstarter.
they did it for 20 grand.
But then
for 20 grand, it'd be
so
like, it's a pretty
even
good
if that
movie.
was like, we just need that 20 grand because we're going to match the 20 grand. That's how much we can scrounge personally. They ended up reaching 303,000. My question is, what did they upgrade from 20 grand to 300K?
Probably got Mike Dupont or whatever his name
made
is.
it longer? Like, was it always going to be a 40-minute film? Or was it going to be like a 15, 20-minute
They have
film?
stretch goals, but the stretch goals are, it was 2 extra days of filming, squibs and small explosives.
What a squib, sorry.
Just like the
blood splat.
when like you get shot and like blood will.
I thought all that was like CG though, right? Like everything was like...
The end one with Volkov when he got shot was definitely squibs. You can see the holes in his shirt. And they had that grenade that was definitely a frag grenade, but then went off like a flashbang.
Well, it must have been like a smoke grenade or something.
She was
'cause
wearing a mask.
She was wearing a mask. It was like Nova gas.
Yeah, it should have been tear
It
gas.
looks like
Or, I don't know.
fucking Psycho Mantis.
Yes, she's Russian psychomantis.
It was entirely for the reveal of she's like, no, don't shoot me. I'm your ex-girlfriend from that time.
Even though she's the only other woman we've seen. It reminded me...
She's the
'cause-
first person we saw.
Yeah, of a... this is a deep reference.
No, it's the best is the Sting mask reveal where a guy with a Sting mask in the crowd hits someone with a chair, like hits like Triple H, whatever, and then it's like, oh my god, that fan, and then they take off their Sting mask and it's Sting with the makeup on. Anyway, so we meet our main character in this silo.
Eventually.
Ryan Bitch Tits.
Ryan's been somewhat built up as being like, you thought we were tough. Ryan's fucking coming. Somewhat.
We'll keep his name secret till we die.
Don't you tell him.
But pay attention to this scene, 007, because this is the very first time we meet our protagonist.
It's the first chance we get to assess her demeanour, her personality. This is where the writers need to establish her as someone the audience can become invested in.
And Ryan Drake is in, as you said, a reacher, or whoever Tom Cruise plays in Mission Impossibles or whatever.
Or whoever Tom Cruise plays in Reacher.
But a short Reacher. So when you see him, he walks on and you're like, really? This is our guy. This is Jason Bourne. This is James Bond. This is Jack Bauer. And I just don't get that.
You know how much I love getting phone calls from you at 6 a.m.?
You know how much I love making.
It was a bit of a miscast, I will say.
You're never going to get me to concede that he was the right guy to play Ryan Drake.
All right, if this is a movie and it's named...
A Ryan Drake story.
Yeah, a Ryan Drake story. Then you have to introduce Ryan Drake in a really cool way. Season 2 of Reacher, the first episode, how he's standing behind the girl at the ATM line and they're getting money out for the guy that has her kid in the car. He walks over, punches straight through the car window and like beats the guy to death. That's a fucking cool reveal.
Well, for me, it's maybe the best one. It's the John Wick reveal. That fucking nobody was John Wick. And then he's getting there and he had that whole speech
It's cut
about
with him.
Yeah, like fucking bringing
digging
out
up
the
his past,
guns
essentially.
and he's just there going, kill the man with a pencil. And you're like, oh, fuck. Like, you're fucking pumped
You have
to
to
see
hear
him.
something or see something that talks about why they're a legend.
And then because it's Keanu Reeves, who just looks fucking sick. Like, he's just one of those guys.
It helps that you look at him and he is cool.
You see Shadow the Hedgehog.
And meanwhile, this guy who looks like a working actor who's probably on a Hallmark movie.
He is on a Hallmark movie called 'Twas the Text Before Christmas. He plays...
The boyfriend in the city or the boyfriend in the village?
I thought, oh, he must be the leading man. No, he is the leading man's sister's husband that sits at the table at Christmas, has one line like,
I'm actually allergic to feathers, so...
Dad, I told you no dad jokes.
Okay.
Right.
he doesn't emanate cool.
You don't want to body shame him.
This guy looks like a frumpy loser. He looks frumpy as fuck. He's got bitch tits. He's got bitch tits.
Don't body shame.
And I'm allowed to say that because I have bitch tits.
And like, look, I'm not in shape. I've just came off holiday. But then also, I wouldn't be playing a fucking action hero either.
I think the whole thing about why you show your hero being ripped,
or just doing something cool,
other than the obvious of like, they're the best of the best, they're ripped, they're strong, showing someone being ripped shows discipline. That they are committed to not just what they are doing for their country, for Queen and country. He's committed to discipline himself.
He's not doing it for Queen and country. He's doing it for the American people. Because I'm Ryan Drake. I'm a proper upstanding American citizen. No, I'm just saying. I watched. I forget the guy's name, but some book reviewer did a review on the actual book, and his main thing straight away was, would a former, I think Ryan Drake's going to be some former MI5 SAS guy.
Right.
Would he then be hired by the CIA? Has that ever happened? That a guy who has English secrets, but a guy who has English secrets would then go to America with these English secrets and then join their secret task force?
He's just that good.
It just says here, once a soldier in the British Army, he now works for the CIA. So he was just a soldier in the British Army.
Okay, is that a thing? Can that happen?
I mean, he's off the books. He's a shepherd.
So he's that good.
I don't know if you read the opening crawl, okay? It's for
crawl. It was a static image. They had nothing to tell us.
It's for veterans, so he's retired.
He looks like he's like 5-10 years older than me.
Veterans can be any age, okay? Well, it's like he enlisted, but then he shot himself in the foot to get out of mandatory to get out of service.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, in 35 minutes, we get introduced to him. 5-10 minutes in,
he gets out of a pickup truck with a laptop and walks in. And again, he doesn't emanate cool, but his accent is shocking.
He didn't deserve to go out like that.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, everyone's accent.
Actually, yeah, true. Even in the
apart
intro,
from like I forget the character's name, but the American.
It might not have ever been said.
The brown hair American chick.
Yeah,
Just gonna stand there like an asshole?
Looks like you've got it covered.
I think she comes across as the best actor
because she's using her own accent.
Yeah, she doesn't have to worry about rolling her R's and saying thank you
Or
or
missing
something.
H's. Oh, watch out. It's an hard watch. Hard watch.
It's an hard watch. This movie was a hard watch.
Why not just make him Scottish? Like, is it because it was too obvious a self-insert?
I think so.
You know, like, so we make him English. The two women got way more cooler moments. Like when she
100%.
when she appears out of nowhere in the highly guarded paintball factory that the Russians hanging out in, she just comes in and has like a cool little choreographed sequence.
Yeah, and she stabs the guy in the top of the head. I fucking love when people stab guys in the top of the head.
She like held him and used him as like a
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah,
kind of.
meanwhile, all what that guy can do, maybe there was stuff on the day. All we're doing is we're walking around like.
But he wasn't even
It's
doing
amazing
that.
how Keanu Reeves can make that shit look good. And the whole flicking of the, you know, all that was Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves, where like.
Me at 12 years old looked cool in this guy. He just looked unnatural.
I mean, what, his last video is what? Probably complaining that Bella Ramsey doesn't look good.
Let's be real with ourselves, gentlemen. I think pretty much everyone agrees that Bella Ramsey was a bad choice to play this character.
It's unbelievable that she can walk into a city and kill people.
Yes, that's what he says.
I find it unbelievable that this Ryan Drake can do anything. He looks like a guy in the chair at the most.
Yes.
You know, like, and that's
He would
it.
be the slightly quirky nerd guy in a show like
What was the John Krasinski movie? What was that one where he was Soldier Man?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
That's it. It is this.
Because like that's as not stereotypically Soldier Man you should get to like a nerd being the soldier. You get it?
Which is why Krasinski was weird casting, because by
Yes.
the time he started doing this, he was hot as hell and 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like,
John Krasinski would have made a good Superman at one point in his life, I think.
With the women fight scenes, which they get more, I feel, in-depth fight scenes, especially the one long drawn out one on the rooftop.
But he was going easy on her.
I was going easy on you. He was Russian. I was going easy.
Even though, why would he be? It's you know, it's a stressful time. Like Ryan Drake's here, the great
Ryan Drake!
Shit! Oh my god, that's
Can you do it? It's like, oh my god, that's Ryan Drake, and then it's the picture in the silo where it's just his bitch tits from the side.
Jesus Christ, that's
Ryan Drake.
So we're on a rooftop.
the insufferable girl bosses who could do anything, beat up guys twice their size, and don't take no shit from no man.
We have our girl boss moment that Drinker should hate. She shoots Drinker in the head. Legitimately, she does exactly everything he's against.
Comes in, saves the day, makes Ryan look weak.
And then she fights a guy twice her weight, twice her everything.
He does a full like this, like overhand right, like but downwards because she's shorter.
A single one of these haymaker punches would probably shatter most of the bones in her face, fracture her skull, and cause severe brain injuries. Nobody is buying this because they know that an actual fight like this would be over in about 4 seconds.
And he's meant to be the main heavy, like the I can't wait to face Ryan, and doesn't face
He's
Ryan.
like the Russian equivalent. Like
He's the coolest looking guy apart from Mike DePod.
He should have been Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan. He should have been Ryan Drake.
Yeah, so she's fighting a guy way bigger than her.
The problem is the last scene where he is standing on top of her body weight and pushing weight.
I'm already
and
tired because it's been a
she
bit.
is pushing up, and this has been like very looked into in Hollywood. People always debunk this shit, which, you can bench press more than the person can like essentially push up, like with their own body weight and gravity.
None of that matters because they plugged this plot hole because the very clever writer that was probably on set that day, he was on set that day, he gave the Russian man the line,
You know something? I'm not even trying.
But he would be because
Ryan Drake's there.
Lights out, shitbird.
when Ryan is told, Hamish, who the film has not shown him have any scenes with, maybe in the book there's like a whole trilogy's worth of Ryan Drake and Hamish adventures. I don't know. But, like,
Remember that one time?
but that's exactly what we get. We get this quick, who knows if this was in the original script or quickly added in, but like them in a American flag background, like
Jim
trading jabs. He says, watch out, mate. He goes, sorry, mate. And then they're like, you're a cheeky bugger. Come here. And then they
start making out. It's
Soap!
It's basically The Lighthouse.
But anyway, so then that's meant to give Ryan Drake a emotional reason to accomplish the mission.
It's a Soap McTavish.
She should be dead.
Stop watching it.
Sorry, it's just so bad.
I half expected some Ayn Randian, like, Atlas Shrugged, like, a man doesn't need emotion, he just needs to do his job well. Like, but so he gives him a emotional, like, I'm like, okay, but it's so lame to just give it one flashback scene to go, oh, here's his motivation, but you've already told us his motivation is it's his job.
Yeah.
It's my job.
So if you want to give me more than
Now it's personal.
but now it's personal, it's like it's cheap. It's cheap.
also poorly done because
It's in a flashback.
yeah, it's in a flashback and it's not to an emotional moment where they bond. They're like training.
He had a friend once.
He had a friend and we have to fill in, oh, it's his mentor. So I guess there's all this other stuff that happened.
Maybe there's some hardcore book readers out there.
You would understand.
Oh, when they saw him on screen, they were like, that's the guy.
But again, and I make this point with every show that we watch,
The books don't matter.
you shouldn't have to read the books to understand the show.
No, you shouldn't
especially-
have to. Of course
yes.
not.
Do you know what I would have preferred? I would have preferred the car moves and you see like a big framed picture of like them two in Vietnam or something with like a smoking village behind them.
Pull out a photo, yeah.
Some Russian guy's like, give me your ID. And then he opens it and next to his ID is a picture of them two like.
So we want it to be a gay love story. is what
I'm
you're
shocked
saying.
the flashbacks wasn't just them switching hats, like Ryan Drake gives him a meat pie flap cap, and and then he
You're an
wears like a
American now.
cowboy hat, and he's like, "I'm a big cowboy man."
Or they're
And,
like shooting guns. He's like, British made. He's like, I only shoot American. And he gets out like this big deagle or something.
I'm a big fan of Blade Runner, but when in the original, when we're told, oh, Blade Runners, and then we see that Harrison Ford isn't like this elite fucking like killer, he's just like a cop who's okay with killing fake people. We still get that sense of, I know.
He looks cool.
He looks cool. It's
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
And he's meant
Like,
to be
He
washed
looks
up,
fucking
like-
sick just reading the paper in the rain.
Yeah, he's
Like,
meant to be a shit person that's good at his job.
with this. So we get that sequence of them in like the fucking army base silo thing. And yeah, it's shot poorly. It's not particularly well acted or written. It goes on way too long considering that it's just meant to be Hamish got killed, here's the location, let's go.
Yeah, and the sky the whole time that's behind them
nothing.
is blown out to all shit.
It looks like they're in heaven.
It's fine to blow the sky out. You just have to do it nicely. And then, like you said, the cross shots would be like, as it, that's your shot there.
And Stephen would be Gunther talking.
But the German cuts in and out of having an accent, whereas Ryan Drake spins a globe for each line.
If those assholes don't kill you, I will. The only people dying today are those fuckers.
No, I think it's worse because I think it sounds like someone who really tried. He really wanted to have a good English accent for this.
Went too far.
And I'm surprised that they just didn't just get someone who was English.
You know, I've met a lot of arseholes in my life. I don't remember you.
Because did they film in England?
No, I think they filmed in Canada.
They filmed in Canada.
Oh, so that's why.
That's why everyone in there is Canada. Like Dupod and the other guy, they're both Canadian.
Right, so too bad there's no working English actors
Also,
in Canada.
they had Dupod for that whole movie. Dupod is a good actor. He is in Stargate and probably every other Canadian show you've ever watched that needed a big dude that kind of sounded Russian. Why not cast him?
We're purposely being a little bit harsh, but the whole bitching about casting, maybe after now we've experienced making a film on a budget, casting isn't as simple as we want this person that to get to him, because they were in Canada. All of a sudden they had to get an actor because it might have been a last minute change, and they just had to get someone who was available for these dates.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it, because I think he, from the videos I see, seems to really like to simplify how films are made. That it's all Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to it than that. And I hope that maybe him getting a lukewarm reaction to this film maybe might make him realise, filmmaking's hard.
And it does make me wonder if this film might represent a turning point of sorts.
I've only ever made short independent films that were never even fucking seen by anyone, and I thought that shit was difficult. So I can't imagine how hard it is to make this piece of shit, let alone making like Star Wars. Anyway, it's actually a pretty simple plot.
That's why I don't think it got out of hand, because it feels like they didn't add to the right places.
But then I'd rather it had just had a cool sequence of him entering into a building and taking people out, and it's 15, 20 minutes. And
I mean, it is exactly the synopsis that they put on Kickstarter. Like, the synopsis is, Operative Ryan Drake, hoping to recover a valuable CIA asset, must infiltrate a heavily fortified base in order to do so. Unknown to Drake, his every move is being watched by a shadowy figure. With minimal resistance, Drake silently makes his way into the base and rescues the asset. Things take a turn for the worse when the shadowy figure makes their presence known and all hell breaks out. He must now shoot his way out of the base.
Did you get the sense he entered with relatively, like, was there a moment where he was like, oh, too easy?
He looks in the room and he sees 5 guys and he goes, fuck!
There's 5 guys.
There's 5
but
guys
then he
playing
goes in
pool.
there and just headshots them all anyway, because he's Ryan Drake.
We did like that scene. That was pretty well choreographed.
I'll give it that.
It didn't go shaky cam.
Most of the choreography is pretty solid.
Yeah, I've seen way worse in bigger things.
Yes, I think obviously if it wasn't made by someone who's built his whole career on hating things,
we'd be so much nicer.
We'd be a lot more sympathetic. But this is someone who has made a whole living off bitching and moaning and everything shit, underlying with, if only I was in charge, it would all be good. And the whole hiding behind sunglasses and a hammy Scottish accent and leaning on Scottish stereotypes.
Because only 220,000 people know that it's this bad.
No, and how many of them stuck around for like the multiple post-credit sequences?
The 2 post-credit sequences, one of which is almost pointless, and the other one which is definitely pointless. When they talk about like that this is a TV show proof of concept, I feel like you need to show the character more, and I still know nothing about Ryan Drake apart from cool guy.
But then he's not even cool.
Reach's introduction, him walking down the side of the road.
And then he sees the guy abusing his wife and he doesn't even say a word, he just stares at the guy.
Yeah.
You know, he goes to prison and immediately like beats the shit out of the alpha dog and takes his glasses.
That's the gold standard of what this should be.
And so you're trying to tell me that this is that, and it's some 5'8" guy or whatever. Like, I'm not saying he can't be, but
bitch did.
You're meant to have me believe that this is the killer of killers, the Baba Yaga, like, and it's just bad. I don't know. It makes you realise how important casting in roles like this is.
And just directing, because like if you heard that accent on set, you'd be like, ooh, maybe doing it a couple more takes. Unless they're like, oh, this is the best
Or like
we
you
can
turn
get.
around to drink and going, is it really important he's English? Like,
Can we last minute change?
What can we tweak?
I'm not particularly familiar with like these Tom Clancy spy genres, but it felt fairly generic in every aspect.
It's meant to be a power fantasy. I don't want to be Ryan Drake, so they have actively failed.
It's the absolute antithesis of artistic endeavour that has nothing interesting to say or do.
Like the way he enters into this building is just like a PlayStation
Checks
game.
no corners.
It's like Far Cry or something.
Yeah.
It's just he just walks in.
Yeah.
And I know it's meant to be explained that, he was meant to walk in for relatively easily because it was a trap.
Yeah.
It seems to be, but I didn't get that sense that it really did seem that easy. And then we have the whole...
By the time we get over there, we're going to lose nighttime cover.
What the fuck are you doing in there? We're losing night cover.
Oh, we're losing night. It's like, no, you've lost night. It's daytime.
They do set up German guy to be like a distraction. He rolls up and then like it's not like all the guards like look over there and then get shot in the back of the head or anything.
You tell Vitaly that Konstantin is here.
Why'd you bring this fucking asshole in?
Didn't, but he speaks Russian like a native.
You tell Vitaly that Konstantin is here.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
It's Ryan Drake runs for 50 meters up to a dude, pushes him a little bit, then shoots him.
Yeah, there was a lot of running up to shoot.
You know guns work at a distance,
It's
right?
cool in John Wick, so we want to do that. It's basically anytime there wouldn't have been the fight coordinator doing one of those set piece fights, like Ryan versus Dupod, girl versus guy, or the girl versus the group. It looks shocking. Like, it's not well shot or choreographed because it's him running up to someone, pushing them, shooting them, and the camera's like trying to keep up. It doesn't feel like $300,000. It does feel like 20.
You know, $3,000 isn't a lot for... But then also you're right.
It's all the extra guys that like run out at the end there that they shoot. Like that's what I mean. It doesn't feel like it's scaled up production wise because they don't have extra things. It's like they added the car park on and they spent a day there instead of just...
But then they got good catering and stuff. Like it's a lot of stuff like that. I'm not being odd, but it is,
Hotels for everyone if they wanted to shoot somewhere else.
Like that, yeah.
The synopsis sounds like it should have started at him infiltrating the base. Like he gets one cool call and then he's a cool guy.
You based it around that as he's infiltrating the base, you're getting flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do flashbacks, I mean, there thankfully isn't much of this, but it made me think of the whole, the Garth Marenghi subtext is for cowards. Like, like...
I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
We get these flashbacks at the dumbest time, which is when
Like
they're doing
the very start?
when they're doing their hangar conversation. 3 people just sitting there talking. It's not shot well. The dialogue's not good.
Yeah, the blocking's really bad in a lot of the dialogue scenes.
It looks like this. It's literally 3 people just sitting there talking.
Was the YouTube video when it was uploaded? Because Drinker has changed titles to suit him sometimes. What was it always called? Proof of concept when he uploaded it?
Yes, but they advertised it as a short film the whole time. Like all through production, they're like, we're making a short film. Give us money, we'll make a short film. And then they did a TV proof of concept because this isn't a complete story. I barely know who Ryan Drake is.
This looks and sounds like a bullshit rush job.
It's shot like it wants to look good. So there's always heavy one-sided lighting.
Would you say that this had, as far as the look of the film goes, we're looking at something with contrast and mood?
It definitely did have contrast.
It was dark as fuck and then bright as fuck.
There's definitely a really bright side of someone's face and then a really dark
Now,
side.
you know filming techniques. You went to higher education
Yes,
for
I
it.
spent way too much money.
Filming techniques will range between classic setups where what is on screen is doing the heavy lifting and the camera is there as a passive observer.
I don't think you need to write that in a pitch
Then
document.
when the action starts, we will start moving the camera around. That's in their cinematography section.
He feels encouraged to, probably because he sees his view counts, to be negative. So therefore he only consumes things he's going to be annoyed about. So when you watch this, it feels like someone who isn't inspired particularly by anything interesting. He's given us a very generic...
It's regurgitation more than anything.
It's a very generic plot. You feel like
it's
you've
the
seen
most
this.
generic thing I've watched in a long time.
It feels like a plot that one of my year 11 or 12s would come up with. Oh, this dude has got to go into a cool building and kill people and then walk out with the thing.
I literally have 2 short films I might show you after this that are me going into a building and killing a bunch of people.
And then walking out with the MacGuffin.
Yeah, literally the building explodes behind me.
And so I leave going, okay, so what's different with Ryan Drake compared to anything else? And you won't believe just how underqualified this man is.
Like, that's the twist. It's that he should not be here. He should not
I've
be doing
expected the
this.
twist go, see, the thing is, I'm not really English.
Everyone's like, what? The twist is they all knew the whole time. They're just like, yeah, man.
I think Drinker's kind of like, he's opened himself up to a bit of pie in the face.
I mean, the best part is with any type of reviewer on YouTube, and even we get it on our tiny, small level, is people saying, oh, if you think you can do better, then do it. You know, why don't you do it? Why don't you write a
Filmmaking
script?
is really hard.
But people always say that in the comments. You know, it's like we're not allowed to review something unless we've done it better. It's like the only people who can review shit.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and so that's the thing. It's like he actually went out there and tried to do it.
I can respect that.
I can respect it.
Sorry, someone else did. Someone else wanted his book.
He was an executive producer.
Yeah, but if you had money and someone had a 2 million subscriber YouTube channel and he also had a book, wouldn't you want to adapt that? That's free money, dude.
It's like at least 2 million. You think you're going to get 2 million?
That's free promotion.
If this is the first thing that Drinker has been on set for that is involving him, I don't know if he has any film background. I don't know what his professional background is, but I'd like to think that this experience would inform him when he's being a critic for reviews, when he's going like,
I don't think he's ever going to touch this.
it was really hard for us to make that very generic.
I need him to come out and talk about it and be like, look, it's fucking hard.
But then he's probably going to say, but I also don't have $1 million.
Or is he like, this is the fucking best?
But what's the excuse? Because
Not enough money.
But he probably had creative control. But weren't you telling me that there are some diehard fans who are going, I would have been better if Drinker was more involved?
Yeah.
How more
He was
involved?
on set.
It's based on his book. He wrote the fucking script.
So he was involved. He was heavily involved.
But he would have approved of the script.
He wouldn't have optioned the names and everything if it wasn't up to his standard.
He wrote the script with the director. They both wrote the script.
He wouldn't have uploaded it to his YouTube channel if he didn't like it. We'll go with that.
We've been fairly nice, but like, we're kind of like, all the accents are shit. The acting's pretty bad. Even the actors you get in who are fairly recognisable aren't really doing much.
Because they're not giving
It's
anything
the
good.
most generic car parks, cars, open fields, paintball factory.
Empty cardboard boxes.
Oh, cardboard warehouse. Yeah. Love me a cardboard warehouse.
And it all just feels like, you know, people who don't know how to shoot it's like all his stuff is based on movies he's watched. Like, has he actually done research into how CIA operatives work or MI5 agents
no.
work?
There'll just be like pallets around and like some boxes.
What was the rogue element thing when she sees the fucking...
She
it
sees
looked like
a digital
disk drive
scale on the
and goes,
wall.
it's a rogue element.
There's a rogue element involved.
It was like a golden disc.
And so the rogue element is the blonde chick when she appears. So how does that relate to her? It's like she's bugged it or something?
I don't know.
Someone's watching.
And she magically gets there. And then the whole... We don't even know, because it opened with her getting tasered poorly. And then we felt it flashed back.
It's like Memento. It exists in both timelines.
And then it's revealed that they obviously have some special relationship because he rescued her once.
One of our post-credit scenes is him rescuing her.
And what's the line that you got? Like, I don't believe in guns. And he said, well, you better get used to them or something.
You better start.
Nazis, one of these. I don't believe in guns.
You better start.
You better start.
Hey!
You better start believing in gun stories.
You're in one. You better start believing in badly written adaptations, boy. You're in one.
It both wants to be this 80s action film, but then it also wants to be a very serious...
I meant to say before, it has no humour. There's zero funny.
Oh, there's nothing
Gunter
to
should have
this.
at least been comic
Gunter
relief.
should have
I think he was
comic relief.
intended to be comic relief.
Germans, we are inherently funny.
But I think maybe he's blind to the fact that he's made a very generic... And the fact that he has leaned on such tropey storytelling. I know it's a proof of concept, and that's meant to like be like defending him from all ultimate defense. Like,
see, that makes
well,
it
if I
worse
had
for me.
$100 million in 2 hours of time.
But he wouldn't be saying that if this took off somehow and they got opted for like...
Make it talkier if that's your goal. Like, give me some depth to Ryan Drake.
Yeah, like the only thing it didn't have, which it kind of did, was guys in suits in offices looking at 50 screens going, oh
Yeah.
God, that's Ryan Drake.
If they hit 400 grand, whew,
Oh yeah, it would have been there.
so many high-rise offices.
Well, with more money, we would have gotten the machine gun motorcycle chase. But with the 300, they still didn't get enough that they could add the motorcycle machine gun chase where Ryan is in a car.
That wouldn't add to the story. Like, that wouldn't have saved it. This wasn't lacking in action. This was lacking in everything else.
But then you're going, well, what does he want this to be? He wants it to be a political thriller where they're discussing all these things, or does he want it to be a raid type thing where we're running into the warehouse and doing cool headshots?
Well, if you want Shooty McShooterson, just fucking watch Video Game High School by Freddie W. and Friends. Like, they made that on probably a similar budget, and they made an entire web series.
He wanted webisodes to come out. If they had made enough money, he would have made webisodes. That was the final stretch goal.
I never want to criticize someone for like trying to put themselves out there, but then the fact that it's someone who has built a career of not being particularly sympathetic and having bad faith takes whenever possible.
Well, that's
like,
why we've been aiming this whole thing at him rather than
the directors or anything.
Yeah, like, I don't know if the director's done anything else. This might be the director's first film, and he had the fucking genius idea. You want to make an action movie because you're out of uni. That sounds cool as shit. You have friends that want to make action movies. You get a YouTuber with a book that you can option, and then he's free promotion to 2 million people. That's great. There's so many Kickstarters for movies that probably get $5,500. This one got 300,000.
Well, that's it. He could have had a really good looking 10-minute film with that 300 grand. And instead he stretched it out, and you're left going, oh, this looks like we could have shot a 5-10 minute version of this and it would have looked like this. Like, he's made it look crap.
Well, a real movie wouldn't have been paced this way because the warehouse infiltration scene, if this was a real movie, that's 45 wasted minutes.
There was also no rising and falling action. Like, when you go through that scene there, they get in pretty easily. The most tense portion is when he looks through the window and goes, "Ah, fuck." There's
but no
too
one
many
cares
people.
about. But no one cares about any of these people. Like, I'm not emotionally invested in anyone.
There's no tension at all.
What about when Ava gets hit by an RPG almost, and she just gets up 30 seconds later?
And they've all got like the same fucking blood, like
a little
corner
bit
of
of
the mouth.
tomato sauce on their mouth.
Yeah, except one guy that has a giant scar.
And the guy who's the Russian guy's bleeding from his left side, and then he wipes the right side of his mouth.
Oh, does he?
He does this.
Oof. Well, you can't wipe the makeup
Well, he's
off.
probably drooling from that side. You know?
But it's instead of it being just a fun actual proof of concept where we're just going, hey, here's the overall vibe
Look how
of what
cool
this would
this
be.
is. Yeah.
Like, we got some action scene, we got some cool dialogue, there's a bit of political stuff. He's trying to actually tell a story because he wants us to go, oh man, Ryan Drake, who we just met, had a really good important relationship with that other random fucker who just died in the last sequence. And I'm left going, well, I don't care about either of these two fucks.
Yeah, and he's dead now. So
And he's dead. And yet, okay, I went in knowing that this was Drinker's film and people have been kind of critical of it. All right,
don't know
that was
what
a
the
mistake.
YouTuber.
But But even still, if I didn't know who it was, I'd go, well, that's dumb.
I would have not made it through the car park scene if I wasn't watching that for this. Because
Yeah.
I watch a lot of short internet films.
Well, even that
And
whole thing is like, where is she when she's
they're her-
sniping? Is she just on the other side of the car
She's
park?
in the worst possible
Is she in
sniping
a different
spot.
car park?
She should have been on the opposite car park looking through that window with a clear line of sight.
The fact that they don't even have a shepherd imagery.
Well, that they say that in the text crawl. They have no insignia and they answer to nobody.
That's so fucking stupid. That there's not like I don't know, a sheepdog or something, some kind of like.
Because even if you have the shepherd, it doesn't say CIA shepherds underneath. Just having the insignia, I get you.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect
It's like
sense.
the Diamond Dogs, it's like a Metal Gear.
Diamond Dogs, yeah. They're in paintball gear. Like, yeah, it's bad. Like, I mean, the only thing that you would want to watch it for would be cool action scene, and they're not even that good. No. And they're just like, they're surprisingly better than you think they would be, is why we go, oh, because they actually were all right.
But they all happen between the 25-minute and the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, like the opening was so
It's that
lame.
one warehouse section, which sounds like it was the original pitch, but they blew out the wrong way, and instead of giving us cool stuff or like a high-speed chase.
Yeah, instead just focusing in on how good could the warehouse sequence
Just
be.
honestly, like a couple more setups of him explaining about his best friend, like more than just tit shots.
Have the warehouse be John Wick in his house when he's like killing everybody throughout his house, but just bigger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if that's what they wanted to do, they wanted to make an action, like they wanted to make a short movie that is action based. That's what you do. You focus on the action.
Also, no one takes a shot at him.
You reckon?
Yeah.
In that whole sequence with him and his mum.
Are you going to make me fucking watch this movie again?
It'll come up on screen in a second. When he's running out, they shoot everybody before two guys run out of the warehouse, one guy with an AK-47.
Oh, they run
running
past.
towards.
Yeah.
No, they're running. They came from where they came from. And
but they're on the other side of the
turns
building.
around. No. She turns around, shoots them both.
It's almost like designing action sequences is really hard.
They wouldn't have had the action guy for that. He would have been like close quarters choreography only.
Congratulations, Drinker. You made something worse than The Last Jedi. And I only say that because in his
really
Kickstarter, he wrote and reviewing bad movies like The Last Jedi.
I'd rather watch The Last Jedi.
Scale it up to that level of production, and this is still shit. Being like, The Last of Us 2 is going to be absolute garbage. I hate it.
Like, it's so unrealistic that this little girl would kill all these men.
We didn't have any pink hair people though, so it's okay.
Well,
So
but
it's a
that's
good
it.
movie.
But then, hang on, the two women saved the day because of the message.
Are you fucking kidding me? I can't do an accent. He had to get saved by a woman. Thanks, Hollywood.
All right,
Go away now.
Their judgment has been harsh and unanimous. It sucks.